Viewers, welcome to Science TV 4 p.m. News with me, Edna Kainde, and my sign language interpreter doing the voicing, Irene Chebiwot. Welcome for the brief news. Former Prime Minister Raila Odinga's office has dismissed remarks by former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua about his health, describing them as false, malicious, and politically motivated. The office said such claims were intended to mislead the public and stir unnecessary speculation. In a statement, Odinga's team assured Kenyans that ODM leader is in good health and continuing with his normal duties and engagements both locally and abroad. They emphasized that any reports suggesting otherwise are unfounded. The office further urged leaders to exercise responsibility and restraint in their public utterances, noting that spreading misinformation only serves to heighten political tensions and distract from national priorities. Moving on, President William Ruto has announced the waiver of the 1,000 shillings national ID replacement fee until after the 2027 general elections. The head of state said the move aims to ensure no eligible Kenyan is denied the chance to register as a voter due to lack of identification documents. He emphasized that the government remains committed to facilitating full participation in the ongoing voter registration exercise. Ruto noted that the waiver would ease the burden on citizens who may have lost their IDs and were unable to afford the replacement cost, adding that the decision is part of broader efforts to enhance inclusivity in the electoral process. Moving on, Kenya today joined the rest of the world in marking World Teachers' Day, celebrating the vital role educators play in shaping learning and national development. The annual event highlights the contributions of teachers in nurturing knowledge, values, and skills among learners, while also calling for better support and recognition of the teaching profession. Education stakeholders across the country held activities honoring teachers' dedication amid challenges such as workload, reforms in the curriculum, and limited resources in some learning institutions. On to our other news. The University of Nairobi, UON, has ordered academic staff to resume duty on Monday, October 6th, following a court ruling that suspended the nationwide lecturers' strike. Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor Prof. Ayubu Gitau termed the strike unprotected and directed that all students attend classes as scheduled. Lecturers have been on strike for nearly 3 weeks, demanding 7.9 billion shillings in unpaid dues from the 2021 CBA. Education CS Migos Ogamba, however, said only 624 million shillings remains pending, noting that the most payments were settled in earlier tranches. WASU Secretary General Constantine Wasonga rejected the CS explanation, accusing the government of giving false figures and vowing that lecturers will not return to class until all dues are verified and paid. On to our other news item. The world will need to recruit at least 44 million teachers by 2030 to achieve universal primary and secondary education. According to a new report by UNESCO, the global report on teachers warns that teacher shortages threaten progress toward global learning goals, with sub-Saharan Africa accounting for about 15 million of the required educators. UNESCO notes that beyond the numbers, many education systems face challenges in retaining teachers due to poor pay, heavy workloads, and inadequate training. The agency urges governments to improve teachers' working conditions, invest in training, and make the profession more attractive to ensure quality education for all. The report highlights that sub-Saharan Africa's fast-growing youth population and high teacher attrition rates pose the biggest challenge, calling for urgent policy action and increased funding to meet the region's rising demand for qualified teachers. On to our final news. At least 47 people have been killed and 9 others reported missing in Nepal, following days of heavy rainfall and triggered floods and landslides across several regions. The country's disaster management agency said the intense downpour has blocked major roads, washed away bridges, and destroyed dozens of homes. According to National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Authority spokesperson Shanti Mahat, rescue teams have been deployed to the worst-hit districts, though access remains difficult due to ongoing rain and damaged infrastructure. Authorities have urged residents living near rivers and slopes to move to safer areas as the risk of further landslides remains high. The monsoon rains will typically last from June to September have been heavier than usual this year, causing widespread destruction and displacement across Nepal's hilly and mountainous terrain. That's all we had for you, our viewers. Thank you for joining me for the 4 p.m. news. You've been with me, Edna Kaindi, and my sign language interpreter are doing the voicing, Irene Tribute. Have a nice evening.